What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Y'all already know what time it is. It is Friday, June 16th, 2021, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you already know that it is time for the live stream event on the Rain in Real Time channel. If you have not done so already, make sure that you go ahead and share this stream with your various social media platforms. I will gladly appreciate it. I'm currently in the process of doing that right now as I speak. And the first 10 minutes, we just kind of chop it up a little bit before we actually get into these topics. And there's quite a bit of topics that we are going to discuss today. I actually had a little bit, but it's two more topics that I had to throw in there because of some new developments or new stories that have come out. But let me go ahead right now and share this with my other social media accounts. If you are on Twitter, I would gladly appreciate it if you retweeted it onto your page so you can get as many people to come over. If you have Facebook, Instagram, so on and so forth, I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, let's see. Right now it says I have two people watching, but I have only one person in the chat. I don't know what that's about. Let me go ahead and share it on the community, because sometimes YouTube wants to send out the notifications and other times they don't. Let's see what's going on. Till Dog 12 and Ashen. What's going on? What's going on? I don't know why it says I only have two people watching. I don't know what that's about. Hopefully, it's not a slow burn to getting people up in here. What's going on, Pinky JYB? Letitia, how are you doing? Make sure that when you entered the chat that you have hit the like button on the way in. I would greatly appreciate that. He said, now I have three. But it's still kind of slow getting in. I don't know what's taking so long for people to come in, but we still gonna get started at 4:10 as usual, because no matter how many people come in or not, I'm still gonna, the show must go on. I hope everybody was having a good week. Where I am, it was extremely hot this entire week. There was like not one day of having some like a cool, well, clearly not a cool day, but it was just extremely hot this week, all week. You said Space Jam 2 is out today. I've heard mixed reviews about that. I'm not hyped to see Space Jam 2, honestly. What's going on, Joseph Washington, Commander B1, Dreamer 19? How are you doing? Amar, you said, what's up, Torian? You are on fire. Hey, I try. I do what I can. But I'm glad that you all are here. Pinky, you said you spent the week in Florida driving home. Have a safe trip back. I know that's going to be a long drive from where you drove from to where you're driving back to. But yeah, definitely have a safe drive back from Florida. And I'm glad that you had a good week. Dreamer said, I didn't care for the original Space Jam. I like the original Space Jam. Maybe it's because I was a kid in the 90s and I enjoyed it because from a kid's point of view. but I like the original Space Jam. But I've heard mixed stuff about the more recent one. But like I said, I'm not hyped to go see it, so I probably won't. And if I was to watch it, I would probably just get the plug to send me the free copy. Honestly, Hashin said that you was chillaxing today. Well, that's a good thing. It's always a good time to unwind and just have time to yourself because you never know the stresses of the week. You said I'm the artist formerly known as William Tillman. I changed my handle for more privacy on you. I think you told me that last week. I think you told me that last week. But I'm glad that you announced who you were, so it's not like who is this person that's entering my chat that I don't know who it is. Again, if you have not hit that like button, please go ahead and do so. 007 Spidey says, hello, signing in from Milwaukee. I might be sending you a story. Have you heard about the Black Dragon restaurant in Capitol Heights, Maryland? Was that you that sent that to me on Instagram? Because I did look it up, and it is in Capitol Heights. From me, distance wise, like 20 minutes. That's nothing because where I go to the gym is actually past that. So I know exactly where Capitol Heights is. I hate that they're only open up on Sundays for right now, one day a week, but I can understand why they are. But one of these Sundays, I'll be sure to head out and support their business. And in case y'all don't know what Black Dragon is, for those of you who live in the DMV area, it's this new Chinese restaurant that is Black owned. Like, I kid you not, it's a Black owned Chinese spot. Ashton says, it doesn't surprise me that the U.S. was involved with the Haitian president's death. Doesn't surprise me either. What's going on, Jay Lava? Oh, and by the way, to all of my subscribers over here, I'm gonna probably post it up on my community tab as well, because I know that I'm going live on this channel where I don't have that many subscribers over here. But I will be doing a collab with Jay Lava on his channel this evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 4 p.m. Pacific on his channel. So definitely head on over to that particular channel at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're just going to chop it up a little bit and talk about just a different array of topics. What's going on, Jamarius Jamal? To us, a surprise, we got another Soho Karen at this time at the Walmart. And guess what? She too was wrong and unapologetic. Yeah, I already I'm well aware of that. That I'm actually going to talk about that in the stream today. That's actually one of the topics that I inserted in there when I thought I didn't have anything else to enter. Like I told you, originally I only had about 4 topics. This was going to be a very short stream, but then so much stuff, other stuff just kind of popped up that I said, you know what, I'm gonna just do it in my live rather than as a pre-recorded video. Pinky J said, if you go to the Black Dragon, you should do a review. Okay, I'll do it. Whenever I get a chance to actually go, especially since now I know where it's located and I know that they're only opened up on Sundays. And Sunday's actually usually my quote unquote cheat day. So I might actually take a trip out there this Sunday. And I'll probably, record a video and put it up on my channel. So, give them some free publicity so people can go out there and support them. What's going on, Mark? 007 Spidey 2. Okay, the name of the channel that I will be collabing on this evening is called J Lava. That is 2 different words. That's 2 words. J-A-Y, Lava, L-A-V-A. So I would highly suggest that if you are getting that name right now, to go ahead and subscribe to that channel and have the bell click. That way, when we go live, you'll already know. Because they talk about a lot of stuff that I talk about. So I'm sure you'll love the content that they have. They even talk about some things that I don't get an opportunity to talk about because I get overloaded with so many stories. As a matter of fact, Jay Lava, the person who runs that channel, is in the chat right now. And like I said, I'll probably post it up on my community tab when I'm done with this stream. And then because I know by with doing that way, all of the people on the main channel where most of my subscribers are at can just go over there and hit that subscribe button. Okay, everybody, it is currently 4:10, which means now we can officially go ahead and get the show started. So what I'm going to do now is share my screen and get this show started because, like I said, we got quite a few things to talk about in a very small window. Okay, so the first topic I wanted to talk about is Ed Buck. Now, I've been talking about the whole Ed Buck situation since it pretty much popped off back in 2017 when that first victim came about. And then the following year, he had another victim. I feel like I don't have to really rehash what he did. I think for the most part, we are all well aware of who he is and the disgusting things that he has done and gotten away with. And now his trial is currently underway. But guess who's not talking about his trial? Lamestream media. But they couldn't wait to Harper and talk a whole bunch about Bill Cosby. Like this literally went under the radar. If it wasn't for Nicole's View for retweeting this other woman on Twitter who literally is doing the exact same thing that Nicole was doing when she went for the Bill Cosby trial, I would not have known that Ed Buck's trial had began. This probably would not have even been a story that I'm bringing to you all today. They're keeping this one as under wraps as they possibly can. And we know why that is. It's because his victims were black men. 2 black men were his victims. And he probably was going for more. I think one video, he actually almost got a third one. I think he almost got a third one. You know what he did? Because the third one got away. And that's how Ed Buck finally got exposed and finally got caught. But as you can see right here on the Los Angeles Times, it says Ed Buck is cast as deadly predator as overdose trial opens. I like they call him a deadly predator because that's exactly what he is. I mean, there's some other terms that we could give him, but we'll stick with deadly predator for right now. And this is the brother to one of the victims. I think the second one. They said that it says Joyce Jackson on the okay, it's her. This one right here with the mask on. She said Joyce Jackson speaks outside the Los Angeles federal courthouse where Ed Buck went on trial Tuesday for the fatal methamphetamine overdoses of Jackson's brother Timothy Dean and Jamel Moore in Buck's West Hollywood apartment. At right is Letitia Nixon, Moore's mother. Yeah. So we know about the first one. You know, he was found dead in his apartment from a drug overdose. The other one, same thing. And they did. It's like they try to make it seem like they were not going to question any of this. It seemed like they weren't even going to try to question any of the fact that these 2 men were found dead in his apartment. And I can't help but think that this guy in the back looked like Marcus Houston, but I know that's not Marcus Houston, but it looks just like him, even with the mask on. So this reads, Joyce Jackson still struggles with pain of losing her brother Timothy Dean to a fatal drug overdose in the West Hollywood apartment of Ed Buck. When Jackson arrived at federal courthouse in Los Angeles on Tuesday, it was with a measure of hopefulness. Buck was going on trial on charges of supplying the methamphetamine that killed 55-year-old brother in 2019 and another man, Jamel Moore, age 26, in 2017. It's a somber day, but it's still a good day because we are here to make sure that my brother gets justice, said Jackson, who with her sister Joanne Campbell traveled to LA from Tampa, Florida to attend the trial. Prosecutors say that Buck, age 66, and that is a hardcore 66 based on the last pictures we've seen of him, solicited black men who were poor, homeless, or addicted to drugs to have sex and use crystal meth and other drugs during party and play sessions at his Laurel Avenue home. He lured them with promises of drugs or money, offering cash bonuses if they let him personally inject them, they say. The government will seek to prove during the trial that Buck's modus operandi was to distribute drugs to black men, and part of the power he could exert over them as a wealthy white man, Assistant U.S. Attorney Lindsey M. Bailey said in court papers. Buck, she wrote, demeaned and dehumanized them with racial epithets, verbalizing the sense of superiority and ownership he felt over these individuals and their bodies. If they did not fully engage in this form of role-playing and following defendants' every command, they would be harassed, abused, and cast out without previously agreed upon payment, Bailey said. Hold on, y'all. I gotta gotta remind this person that I am live streaming right now. Let me see what y'all are talking about in the comments before I go any further, because I'm feeling about to show his face. Jay Black said, but we know why they aren't talking about Ed Buck, because he isn't black, but his victims are. You're right, and the Academy really isn't talking about him either. So much for that intersectionality even within the Academy. That's why I can't take them seriously with that intersectionality crap. But let me continue. That's him. See what I mean when I say that's a hardcore 66? Buck is charged in a 9-count indictment with providing the methamphetamine that killed Moore and Dean, enticement to travel for prostitution, distribution of methamphetamine, and maintaining a drug den. If convicted in either of the overdose deaths, Buck faces a minimum of 20 years in prison. Now, notice they say a minimum of 20 years. So he could get way more than that. And he should get way more than that. He should be in there for the rest of his life. Ludlow Creary, an attorney for Buck, did not respond to a request for comment. Another Buck attorney said previously Buck was the target of a racially driven character attack and suggested he often helped people struggling with addiction or homelessness. How does that even work when, first off, all his victims are black? They're both dead, found in his apartment. Like, are we just going to sit there and look over the obvious? Like I guess that's what they want us to do. Prosecutors plan to call several witnesses to testify about their party and play encounters with Buck. One of them says Buck once slipped a tranquilizer into his drink, making him feel paralyzed. And when he awoke, he found Buck injecting him. During jury selection Tuesday, U.S. District Judge Christina A. Snyder asked potential jurors about their attitudes toward drug abuse. Several told of their own struggles with addiction, and several have friends or family who died of drug overdoses. It's a lot for me to be in a case like this, said one potential juror who broke down in tears as she told of a friend's fatal overdose and her father's addiction to crystal meth, cocaine, and marijuana. Opening statements are set to start Wednesday morning. Buck, a longtime Democratic campaign donor, was widely known in West Hollywood politics long before his notoriety for the drug deaths. A one-time candidate for a seat on the West Hollywood City Council, he led the drive for the city's 2011 ban on fur apparel. Like, listen to that right there. This is exactly why what I just read is exactly why he's managed to, for so long, get away with what he's gotten away with. Moore's overdose on July 27, 2017 turned Buck into a toxic political figure. Moore had flown from Houston to LA earlier that day at Buck's expense. I have a guest who seems unresponsive, Buck told a 911 dispatcher, according to a transcript of the call. Are they breathing? The dispatcher asked. I got my neighbor over here giving him CPR and he just said call 911. I can't find a pulse, the neighbor shouted. Moore was found naked on a mattress in Buck's living room, and the apartment was littered with drug paraphernalia, including 24 syringes with brown residue and 5 glass pipes with white residue and burn marks, according to the Los Angeles County Coroner's report. Moore died of an accidental meth overdose, the autopsy report concluded. The Los Angeles County District Attorney Office declined to file charges, citing insufficient admissible evidence. Jackie Lacey, the LA County's district attorney at the time, defended the decision, saying that sheriff's deputies had no legal right to pick up the meth and paraphernalia that they saw in Buck's apartment as emergency workers that were trying to resuscitate Moore. So see right there, they gave him so much cover. But did you hear that? 24 syringes? But they had all this smoke for Bill Cosby? Yet this guy literally lived in a pigsty of needles. A year and a half after Moore's death, Dean, who worked at Saks Fifth Avenue in Beverly Hills, died of an overdose in Buck's apartment. I have a friend who's unresponsive, Buck told the dispatcher. Now, notice he says it's almost the same thing. The first one says, I have a guest that's unresponsive. The next one says, I have a friend who's unresponsive. I believe he did some drugs and they were too much for him. Dean's death sparked protests by civil rights activists who accused authorities of failing to aggressively investigate and prosecute a politically well-connected white man suspected of preying on black men. In September 2019, a third man overdosed on methamphetamine in Buck's apartment but survived. Buck was arrested on state charges of battery causing serious injury, administering methamphetamine, and operating a drug house. 2 days later, the federal charges were unsealed. In the lead up to trial, Buck's attorneys have reviewed the claim that deputies needed a warrant to search a tool chest in his apartment where drugs and paraphernalia were discovered. But Snyder has agreed with federal prosecutors that evidence was in plain view and thus admissible. It still hurts. Jackson said of her brother's death. I pray constantly. I wish I could wake up from a dream. And this is just a dream. And Tim is still here. Now, what catches me off guard is the detail that they went into with this story, because that part with the syringes, I didn't know about that until reading this part right here. But this man is sick in every sense of the word. Now, this is the true definition of some buck breaking shit right here. And I'm not saying that because his last name is Buck. And the thing is, I don't think Buck is really even his last name. But that's crazy. But he definitely, in my opinion, should get way more time than they said that he's going to get. 20 years minimum is nothing. So what, he's 66 now? If he gets a minimum of 20 years, that means he can get out when he's 86. But we're going to try our best to keep an eye on this story. So now we're going to move on to another story, and this one has to do or deal with a certain film that is in production right now that is slated to come out next year, around this time next year, as a matter of fact. And that is Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever. I'm not sure if you have heard about what is going on, but apparently there's some script issues that are mounting up, according to Angela Bassett. She says that the production is going through script changes as we speak. As we speak, the production is still, it's going through production, that the script is still being worked and reworked and worked and reworked. And that, I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing for something that is this early in production. Now, this is probably going to be one of the hardest films to film, hardest movies to film, because of what happened with Chadwick Boseman, unfortunate passing last year. It's crazy. We're coming up on a year. Because, without him, and at first I was one of the people that said, you know what, I don't think they should recast the T'Challa role. But looking at it now, I think they should. Because he still has a lot of story that needs to be told. There's still like a lot of things that has to be put out there with his story. I wanted that T'Challa and Storm wedding so bad, and that would have been a perfect way to introduce the X-Men into the MCU. I mean, we know they're going to come regardless, but that would have been a perfect way to do it. I wanted that wedding so bad, and with his character not there, it can't happen. Like, what are you going to do? Have her marry off to somebody else? That makes no sense. DSA1 says, man, with the movie, all they got to do is follow the comic book. The sister takes over anyway. We know that she takes over, but they don't want to have it where she takes over so soon. I mean, we know she's going to have the mantle at one point, but not this soon. So I'm gonna go ahead and read this article that is coming from with Cinema Blend. It says continue a franchise after its lead has passed on can be a huge undertaking for any studio, but that's the fate Marvel was dealt for next year's Black Panther Wakanda Forever following the death of Chadwick Boseman in 2020. Marvel made the decision not to recast T'Challa, which has added a layer of enigma and doubt about the project. And despite starting production on the sequel, things still apparently aren't all set in stone, according to Angela Bassett. Bassett has revealed that Black Panther 2 script is still going through changes even after cameras have started to roll. While production on Black Panther 2 has already started, that doesn't mean changes aren't still ongoing. Angela Bassett gave her first account of the production so far during an interview with Entertainment Tonight, and the Oscar nominee talked about filming with continuous script changes and how that is impacting her overall view of the film. I don't know what it's going to look like at all. There have been about 5 incarnations of the script, and I hear another one is coming. Now, when it comes to filmmaking, there's always going to be like some type of script change and everything like that. But for it to happen this early on and for it to be this many, this early, that would cast some kind of doubt. Like you just started filming like 2 weeks ago. Like I think they've only been filming the movie for like 2 weeks. So they're not even a month in yet into production. I'm gonna be honest, I would not want to be on that set. Like I couldn't even imagine what the energy feels like right there. This is gonna be this is gonna be I know Ryan Coogler is probably stressed right now. DSA1 says it's true she doesn't take over this soon, but at the same time, how many Black Panther movies were they going to do before that? Also, they haven't added on to other characters like that. Well, as far as I know, every character has a trilogy film because they did it with Iron Man, they did it with Captain America. Thor's the only one I know that got more than a trilogy, even though he shouldn't have got more than a trilogy. Um, but I know that like the standard is to do a trilogy and not a one off. Well, they kind of did it with Black Widow, and they kind of had no choice but to. So my guess is if they was going to have her take the mantle, it probably wasn't going to happen until probably maybe the third film. And like I said, this is hard because like your lead actor passed away. So it's like Ryan Coogler probably already had some stuff already in the works, and then this just kind of happened. It was like it's out of your hands. It's not like he fell out of the project and he just decided to quit and not want to do it anymore. He's gone. Like he's like not coming back. Let's see what else does it says. Angela Bassett's account would make any Black Panther fan nervous. Revising while filming sounds like Marvel and the writers are still unsure about the story in the sequel. But it should be noted that constant script changes are normal in Hollywood. Practically every film, blockbuster, indie, and made for television will go through multiple drafts before and during production. So isn't as outrageous as it may appear. But as a Hollywood pro, Angela Bassett wasn't worried about this ongoing development. Continuing, Angela Bassett expressed confidence in Black Panther Wakanda Forever's development. She gave some insight into Chadwick Boseman's death affecting the production. Regarding the multiple revisions of Black Panther 2, Bassett gave props to the sequel's writing team, saying, of course, with our dear king, Boseman going on to glory, a lot of things had to be shifted and changed. So thankfully, Ryan Coogler and writer Joe Robert Cole, they're just such masterful storytellers that they found a way into this world, and hopefully it will be satisfying. I think for the fans, it will be honorable for our Chad. We love our king. Now, interesting that they titled the movie Wakanda Forever. Many are suggesting that they're going to explore the world of Wakanda even more, because in the first one, we really didn't get that much exploration into Wakanda like that. Like, you saw some things here and some things there, but you like Wakanda is like, it's the wealthiest place on earth. It's a lot of layers to it that we did not get to see in the first one. So I think that the main focal point of this film is going to be more so of the nation of Wakanda than anything. After all, it's in the title. And I wonder if they were always going to call it Wakanda Forever before Chadwick Boseman died, or they were just going to call it Black Panther 2. I'm not sure. Hearing Angela Bassett so reassured about the script's development should come as some relief for Black Panther fans. Being an acting veteran, the actress has experienced this numerous times. Even before filming started, she gave fans hope about the upcoming film, despite Chadwick Boseman's absence. This isn't the first time the Oscar nominee has reassured moviegoers about the sequel. She revealed the film will honor Boseman's contributions to the MCU. Pushing forward with Black Panther sequel is commendable for the cast and crew. Angela Bassett has served as a reassuring force for Black Panther fans for months. Unfortunately, Marvel fans will have to wait until July 8th, 2022 to see Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Until then, you can check out our Marvel's ever-expanding slate of what films are arriving in 2021. So, yeah. So I don't, like I said, I would not want to be on that set because I don't know what the energy would be like. Yeah, Ashton, I did hear about that. They are actually doing a series for Disney Plus about Wakanda, and it's probably going to be after this movie comes out. It would make sense to not put it out before. So yeah, I did hear that they are doing a Disney Plus series, and I think it is talking about Wakanda outside of the main storyline. But I don't know. It's kind of iffy. I don't know what is going to come from this. I want to, hope for the best, considering how successful the first film was and how much it had a cultural impact, not just in America, but across the globe. Like, that movie hit for everybody. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I have a feeling that because of everything that's going on, I don't think that a lot of critics are going to critique it too hard because of that. I think a lot of people are going to give Ryan Coogler a lot of props because he has a lot on his plate. But who knows what they're going to do? And now that, with the Loki series being done and we already know, spoiler alert, the multiverse is coming, they can pretty much do anything with that as long as it makes sense. I was actually having a talk with somebody or some people last night about that. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And once we see a trailer of some sort, which we probably won't see until like the beginning of next year, more than likely, since the movie's coming out in the summer. Um, Pins and needles is what we're probably going to be sitting on. DSA Wayne said, now if they tied that Disney Plus to MCU, that would make sense. I think a lot of the shows right now, especially with how Loki ended yesterday, is going to tie into the MCU. It has to somehow, some way. But we shall see. And if Ryan Coogler can pull this off, and the movie is a hit, give that man his flowers while he is here, please and thank you, because he has a lot. Right, he has a lot riding on this. So, in case y'all did not know, a little tidbit: Black Panther is the only MCU film in the top five gross wise as far as money that was made. Every other film that's in the top five grossing for the MCU films of all time are team films like The Avengers. Black Panther is the only solo film that has grossed the most out of all the solo films. And it's the only film in the top five that is a solo film next to all the other Avengers films. So just thought I would put that out there. Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat. You said they need to drop the Spider-Man trailer. I said the same thing because after Loki ended yesterday, I said they just need to go ahead and drop that Spider-Man No Way Home trailer because we know what's about. Listen, we already know what's about to come with that. They've already dropped the Shang-Chi one. They dropped the Eternals one. Now they need to drop that Spider-Man one. But I looked up online and they said that they're not ready to drop that trailer yet. So I don't know when they're going to actually drop it. But I'm sure when they do, the internet's going to go crazy. Well, now that we have taken care of that, what's going on, Hood Mistress? Now we can go ahead and move on to the next story. And that's this one right here. Now, before I go any further, now this is another story that I had to throw in here today. Put a 1 in the chat if you live in California. All my followers who live in Cali, put a 1 in the chat. Just the ones who live in California. I don't need to see if you live in Washington or Oregon. If you live in Cali, put a 1 in the chat. What's going on, Jerome? Vulcan. All right, I see Malika lives there. Hood Mistress lives there. I know I got to have more than 2. Amara lives in Cali. Okay, the reason why I asked who lives in Cali is because I'm sure many of you have heard. We've heard it over here on the East Coast. And I know y'all definitely had to heard it over there on the far West Coast. But now, thanks to WUVIC cases rising again, they have now imposed or reimposed the mask mandate back into the system. And I think it goes into effect tomorrow. And it said it does not matter if you have taken the vaccine or not. They said they are about to reimpose the mask mandate in the state of California. What's up, Nino? He said, imagine getting the jab to not have to wear a mask and not catch the virus, but find out you can still get it and still got to wear a mask. Hey, and I have a feeling that it's going to spread to other states. That's just how I'm feeling. I'm not going to say that it is or if it isn't, but I have a feeling that's going to end up happening. And Hoodmish, you said you live in LA, so you right in the thick of it. You right in the center of it. What's going on, Didi? Dreamer said, did you see the report for California that says hate crimes went up 60+%? I never stopped wearing mine. I wouldn't be surprised. I've done a few stories this year about hate crimes coming out of California. But they always like to say Cali's the most liberal state. Okay. So let's see here. Requiring inoculated people to wear masks does not seem like a sensible or effective response, and it could deter vaccination. Los Angeles County, the country's most populous local jurisdiction, yesterday reimposed a general face mask mandate for people in indoor public places, whether or not they have been vaccinated against COVID-19. The Department of Public Health cited recent increases in cases, most of which involve the especially contagious Delta variant of the virus. Now imagine that. You just had this whole rush out of the scene the last couple of months just so people did not have to wear a mask indoors or, open more businesses up and do whatever. Only to come back literally a couple of months later and say this. I think many people out here see it for what it is. It was nothing more than a money grab, because they were trying to recoup the money that they lost last year. But my thing is this: your businesses and stuff were shut down for way more than 2 months. We're talking about places were shut down for almost an entire year. Did you really think you were going to recoup all that money in like 2 to 3 months that you lost last year, for the majority of last year? Did you really think that was going to happen? And they were probably kicking themselves when they heard there was another variant out there. I even heard a story on the news where someplace, I don't know where it was. I don't know if it was in the States or overseas. They said this one woman caught not one, but two variants of WUVID at the same time. I never heard that before. To catch two different versions of it at the same time. So you said I said after 4th of July they would start locking down again. And like I said, it's the summertime. Kids is out of school. They going on vacation. It's a lot of mixing and mingling going on. You got to think this is the first summer that we've had out in the open since 2019. Because last year's summer was shot. Like you didn't really see nobody outside like that. Because nothing was hardly open. Okay, Vulcan said that they saw that story as well. I'm glad I'm not alone with that because I don't want people saying, oh, that doesn't sound real. It's indeed real. I heard that report with clean ears. Hood Mistress says stupid folks still passing germs out here. LA bus drivers ain't making it no better by letting bums and squeakers on the metro. Dreamer said they said if you haven't been vaccinated, it will hit you harder than WUVID. They say it's the highest in the lowest vaccinated places. They got this out of India. Jay Black says you can still contract it through your eyes, aerosol transmission. Yeah, I'm sure there's various ways that you can catch it. And the thing is, when they come out with multiple variants, they just escalate and get worse and worse and worse. But let me go on and continue reading this. This is an all hands on deck moment, said LA County Health Officer Muntu Davis, who warned that further restrictions may be necessary if cases continue to rise. Community transmission of COVID-19 has rapidly increased from moderate to substantial based on the trend in daily new cases of COVID-19. The health department says wearing a mask when indoors reduces the risk of both getting and transmitting the virus. This additional layer of protection can help to slow the spread and does not limit business occupancy and operations. So basically, they're saying they're not going to shut down the businesses. You're just going to now have to go back to wearing the mask inside. And I can already hear the Karens and the Brads right now flipping out. I can hear them. I can hear them all the way from over here. They 3,000 miles away. I can hear them all the way over here. And the scary part about it is California is a very heavily populated state. Very heavily populated. And see, like I said, some people still wear their mask, and that's fine. I don't judge nobody. If you want to still wear your mask, you can go ahead and wear your mask. If you don't want to wear your mask, don't wear the mask. But just know that if there's a sign on that store or that business that says you got to put that mask on, just put the mask on. Lexi said, I know people that still with a mask but got the scene and can't give a reasonable explanation. They always sound ridiculous. Well, I know somebody. Well, I put it like this. I know somebody personally who got the scene and they still wear a mask. And the reason why is because this person has underlying conditions. That's why they still wear the mask, even though they got the scene. Amar said, don't forget the Coonsters. What about her? What did she say? I bet it was some BS, but tried to entertain me. Jerome said they're probably saying that wearing masks is equivalent to oppression to them. You want to know what's so crazy? They compared being in quarantine last year to slavery. So I would not even say what you just said was far fetched. I mean, the sky's the limit. If they said that the quarantine was comparable to slavery, then yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that left their mouth. Exactly. It doesn't. And they said it so many times, it doesn't stop you or prevent you from getting it. All it says is that it lessens the symptoms should you catch it. It didn't say that you won't catch it altogether. That means if you have the scene and you come in contact with somebody who has WUVID, you can still catch it. You just won't have the intense symptoms that the person who got it has. That's all they said. I don't know how many times they have to reiterate that. But many people think that they got the scene that makes them immune. That's why it killed me when I saw so many black folks when they started to roll this thing out talk about, oh, I got the scene. I'm going out. I'm about to be lit this summer, lit and loud. I'm about to go travel. I'm like, you do realize we're still in a pandemic, right? If you still got to travel by plane and they request that you wear a mask, even though you were vaccinated, and you can wear a pin that says you were vaccinated, you can get it tatted on your forehead. They don't care. They're still going to say, wear the mask. It's a reason why. Because, yeah, you got the vaccine, but not everybody did. And WUVID is still a thing. It killed me seeing black people online posting the little stickers. Like, you know how when voting come around and they post up this sticker saying I voted, okay, you voted. Now what? Is your situation going to change? Is our situation going to change? No? Okay then. I mean, good thing you voted and everything like that. Even when I was voting, I didn't post myself saying I voted online. I didn't. And then on top of that, you got to think about all the lotteries and the incentives that they've been giving out. I'm like, are people not paying attention? Now, I don't know if y'all heard about what's going on in Tennessee, but they saying that something about the kids down there, and someone can correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. Something about the kids down there. What did they say about the kids in the scene? They saying if they I think they said if they didn't take the scene, they could still come to school because they're trying to set it up where now if you are a child that's 12 and under, if you get consent from your parents, you can take the scene. Because some places are setting up on school grounds to get the scene. I know the Six Flags over here in Maryland, where I'm at, they literally had tents in the parking lot of Six Flags. If you wanted to get the scene, you could come over here and get it. But when they reached a certain threshold, they moved out because now they're no longer there. But let me continue. Where did I leave off at? It seems quite unlikely that the marginal benefit from requiring vaccinated people to wear face masks, which contradicts current advice from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, is worth the burden it imposes on them. The mask order, which takes effect just before midnight on Saturday, which is tonight, could even undermine public health by weakening the incentive to get vaccinated. While emerging data affirms that fully vaccinated people are well protected from severe infections with the Delta variants, there it is, people. What did I just say before I read this? While emerging data affirms that fully vaccinated people are well protected from severe infections with Delta variants, it did not say well protected from the virus itself. But some people who are riding the short yellow bus and at the right and at the back of the bus at that will overlook this and in their mind plant that they're saying the virus altogether. People with only one vaccine are not as well protected, and there's evidence that a very small number of fully vaccinated individuals can become infected and may be able to infect others. They've even been talking about booster shots too. I don't know if y'all have heard about that, but they've been mentioning something about booster shots. As CDC Director Rochelle Walensky has noted, the evidence indicates not only that vaccinated people are unlikely to be infected, but also that the rare cases of breakthrough infections involve relatively low viral loads. That means vaccinated people are unlikely to pass on the virus, even if they defy the odds by becoming infected. According to a Los Angeles Times tally, the 7-day average of newly identified cases in LA County rose sixfold between June 15th and July 15th, from fewer than 200 to more than 1,000. While that's a big increase, the current average is still 93% lower than the number reported in mid-January. Hospitalizations are also on the rise, although daily deaths remain far below the level seen earlier this year. Between December 7th and June 7th, the Times notes the unvaccinated account for 99.6% of LA County's COVID cases, 8.7% of COVID-19 hospitalizations, and 99.8% of deaths. LA County, y'all got a problem on your hands. Now, mind you, this is between December to June. And they wanted to open their economy back up. No wonder they're going back into a mask mandate. Look at that. Look at them numbers. That's just for LA County. That's not attributing to the whole state of California. That's just one county. So it makes you wonder what the rest of the state is going through. It sounds to me like LA County needs to be in a bubble. The health department does not cite any evidence that vaccinated people have contributed to the upward trend in cases by transmitting the virus. But since the risk that vaccinated people may be able to infect others is greater than zero, it figures an additional layer of protection is warranted. Which makes sense as long as you attach no weight to the discomfort and inconvenience imposed on people who have gotten their shots, or the impact that the indiscriminate mandate is apt to have on people who have not yet been vaccinated. For young, healthy residents who understand that they face little personal risk from COVID-19, the freedom to eschew masks may be one of the most appealing aspects of vaccination. So far, 61% of Los Angeles County residents 16 or older are fully vaccinated, and this mask rule does not seem like a good strategy for pushing that number up. Exactly. So now, if they bring this mask mandate back, which they're doing, it's going to basically put in people's mind that what's the point of me getting the vaccine? That's how people are going to look at it. What's the point of me getting it if I just have to put this mask back on? I put the mask. I took the scene, so I didn't have to continue wearing the mask. You know, like a trade-off. If I take the scene, I don't have to wear the mask anymore. But again, were people listening when they said that you could still catch this thing even when you have the scene, whether you wear the mask or not? I guess people didn't get the memo. Basically, to me, it's just like this whole thing has just made a nation full of idiots, whether on a professional or non-professional level when it comes to this thing. Let's see what else they're talking about. COVID-19 cases are rising not just in Los Angeles County, but across the state and the country. In California, the 7-day average per wardometer has tripled since June 15th, from fewer than 1,000 cases to more than 3,000. Well, that answers my question about the state of Cali. That is still 93% lower than the number recorded in mid-January. The 7-day average of daily deaths, 23 as of yesterday, is down 96% since late January. Nationwide, the 7-day average of the newly identified cases more than doubled between June 15th and July 15th, but it is still down 95% since mid-January. The 7-day average of daily deaths has risen slightly from a week ago, but it remains 92% lower than the number reported in late January. It is true that Los Angeles County has seen a bigger increase in COVID-19 cases than many other parts of the country, but that does not mean forcing vaccinated people to wear face masks is a sensible or effective response, especially in the absence of evidence that they are playing a significant role in that trend. Well, they can have at it. They can do what they want. I'm not in the state. Talking to Grumman said, no, the nation of idiots was around before Move It. This just exposed them. Well, Said these folks got the shot just to get back to normal. Now they got egg on their face. Dreamer said, I don't want business to close, but I don't feel like we should be all the way out. I don't think that they're going to close the businesses, but something tells me that the way that it's looking, how some people are going to go against this because they like, we went through all of this to not wear a mask. They're going to do the same thing that they did last year, and it's going to force the businesses to close. So I feel like if the people just put the mask on and just wear them, then the businesses can stay open. Like it has to be a give and take type thing. Like I said, it has to be a trade off. Just put the mask on, and the businesses can stay open. At that point, now it's on the people. That's why I said them Karens and the Brads gonna act up, and they're gonna ruin it. I'm telling you, it's going to come from them because we saw how they acted last year. Donna said some people got the scene to travel. Exactly. Hey, I said that. A lot of people did get the scene to travel. Like I said, I saw in people's posts, they said, oh, I'm fully vaccinated now. I'm going to travel. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. I'm like, you do know that, yes, that it's good that you're traveling, but still remember, this thing is still around and there's another variant literally on the rise. Like, this is like our first official open summer with this thing. And who knows what the fall and winter months are going to be like, especially because the fall and winter months is flu season. All I'm saying is that people just got to be mindful and they just got to be careful. But look at who I'm talking to. I'm not talking about y'all, but I'm talking about like America. Look at who we're talking about. It'll go in one ear and out the other. Hoodman said the only thing that'll suck if another lockdown happens when the libraries close again. Nino said, I'm in a weird spot between anti-maskers and pro-vaxxers. I feel like both are on the slow side. That's like dealing with the Republicans and the demon crips or the demon rats. Jay Black says, wait till the Olympics kick off. Y'all saw my video about that. So yeah, that's that. So let me move on to the next story. And that is this topic about Richard Sherman. Who has heard about this issue that happened with Richard Sherman? I can honestly say I feel like a lot of people got this story misconstrued, but we're going to go over that right now. So in case y'all didn't hear or didn't see rather, Richard Sherman is now in a little bit of legal trouble because he went over to the house of his father-in-law and on the little Ring camera, I guess that was a Ring, he was basically banging on the door of his father-in-law's home. Like he was going off. Like he was banging on the door, pushing on the door, like trying to kick the door in, all of that. Like if you go and watch the video, it's all there. But he ended up getting arrested, as you can see, and charged with 5 misdemeanors, including DUI and resisting arrest. Now, I'm going to say this right now because I'm wondering if the article is going to mention it, but I'm going to say it right now. From what I've heard, the reason why he went over to his father-in-law's house is because Richard Sherman was trying to see or get his kids, but the father-in-law was preventing that from happening. Apparently, there was a conversation, it had to be a conversation that happened between Richard Sherman and his father-in-law, his wife's father, about the kids. And it escalated to him driving over there, and then it led to what we saw on that video, in that footage. But that's what I heard on multiple accounts. But I'm gonna read this article and see what they're going to say. I want to see if they're going to mention that. Former Seattle Seahawks Richard Sherman has been charged with 5 misdemeanors, including driving under the influence, endangering roadway workers, resisting arrest, and domestic violence related counts of malicious mischief and criminal trespass. The King County Prosecuting Office filed the charges Friday morning. Sherman has a court appearance scheduled for 2 p.m. So all of the stuff that I'm reading right now has already occurred. Actually, no, it hasn't, because I forgot they on the West Coast. So it's about to happen right now as I speak. Sherman, age 33, of Maple Valley, a former Seahawks standout cornerback and NFL free agent, was arrested early Wednesday after reportedly attempting to force entry into his in-laws' Redmond residence. A judge ordered him released on Thursday. According to probable cause statements released Thursday, Sherman fought with police officers who used a police dog to get Sherman into custody. The Washington State Patrol said Sherman was under investigation for driving while intoxicated, crashing into a barrier on Highway 520 and leaving the scene. His badly damaged car was found abandoned in a parking lot, says a probable cause statement authored by a state patrol sergeant. Well, I'm going to say this. Granted, we know, like, as far as I know from what I just told you, we know he was in a state of rage at that point. However, it wasn't the smartest thing to go out and drive under the influence. Because at that point, now you're endangering not only your life, but others as well. Like, it just said that he crashed into a barrier and went through it. They said crashed into a barrier and left the scene. Let's see. It says, cool. I read that part. Sherman was charged with criminal trespass in the second degree with a domestic violence element, reckless endangerment of roadway crews, driving under the influence, resisting arrest, and malicious mischief with a domestic violence element. The DUI and reckless endangerment charges are gross misdemeanors, punishable up to 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine. The other charges are simple misdemeanors, which carry a maximum possible 90-day jail term. Says prosecutor's office spokesman Casey McNerthney. I'm just reading the I'm reading the comments. Yeah, Dreaming, yeah, he did hit something. Like as I said, he hit a barrier. And when he hit the barrier, he got out of the car. And then that's when he went to the house. And they probably knew he was on his way there. But I don't know what kind of material they used on that door for that door not to come down like that. But I want to know what kind of material that is. Because that door was potent. Dreamer says he was drunk as hell. The wife said he drank 2 bottles of booze. Now, one thing people are saying is that it's amazing how they are literally blowing this up in the media. And I can see why they're doing it because it's Richard Sherman. Besides him being a black man and an athlete, he's made what would be considered, quote unquote, what they would consider to be controversy in the NFL. I don't really deem it to be controversial. And someone in the chat actually mentioned it was when he kind of calmly went up on that white reporter a couple years ago, and they tried to make it seem like this is the big black boogeyman. I said, here they go again. But they're blowing it up because of who he is. Now, the media didn't harp on the whole Chad Wheeler situation like this. And I actually just found out by reading some tweets that his trial is coming up next month. I didn't know that he even had a trial set. And that man damn near killed his girlfriend, damn near left her for dead, and then asked her, was she okay after the fact? And let's see, Jay Black said he's black. He got to be smart and move differently. True. That is true. That's one. I'm gonna be honest. I actually hate when people say that, but I'm trying to find. I can't even find a counter to that because it's actually truth behind it, and it's unfortunate because it's almost like black men have to always constantly be on their P's and Q's in this society. And the minute you even step off of your square, that's it. It's almost like we're supposed to be propped up as these perfect people and whatnot. Yeah, Rosalind, he said, "Oh, you're still alive?" He said it just like that. I don't know what's going to actually come of this. Honestly, I don't think he is going to get even remotely the time that they're claiming he's going to get because of his status. I could be wrong though. He could actually get it. Um, but I'm sure and hopeful that the truth will all reveal itself. But what I said earlier is what I heard about the whole children situation. Vulcan said every black athlete is considered a big boogeyman in the eyes of the media when they mess up. That is very true. Noam King said black men always got to walk on eggshells. That is also true as well. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my eye on that Chad Wheeler thing because I'm curious to see what they're gonna hit him with. They said his trial begin next month. I'm gonna type his name into Google and see when is his trial. Like, what's the day? Because they said that it's coming up. I'm curious. Jay Black, you said it. He says we're only human, but that's why I keep thinking that three-fifths compromise is still on the books because we know we're human, but that damn document says that we're not. And even though they claim it's not on the books anymore, you couldn't tell it by the way we get treated out here. But we'll see what happens with Richard Sherman because the way the mainstream media are hyping it up, they're trying to say, "Oh my God, what he was doing is so terrifying." Oh my God, like I kept seeing that word "terrifying" repeatedly when it came to this situation. They kept saying it over and over and over again. I said that's a mainstream media tactic to say something repeatedly to regurgitate it to get it implanted into your brain so you can say it too. But I'm gonna go ahead and get off of this and come here and discuss now who in here watched my video when I was talking about the black clown servitors. And I said in that video that on my stream today, I was going to go through the thread from the Resist Programming page on Twitter about other things that were shown and seen at this CPAC event. Like this person in Resist Programming came with a boatload of receipts. And I'm talking about a lot of them. And the thing is, like, I only went through like a few of them before I decided to incorporate it into the stream. Like, I didn't even go through the whole thread. So I don't know how much of this or how long this thread is, but it's going to be interesting. So, beginning with this person right here, it says CPAC Dallas thread part two. I don't know what happened to part one, but this is part two. Former Dallas Cowboys defensive tackle Chad Hennings is speaking at CPAC about the left denying healthcare choices and religious liberties. And this right here says, "Give me liberty or give me death. The left's efforts to deny religious liberty, healthcare choices, and other life decisions." But they said this guy used to play for the Cowgirls. And I'm not saying the Cowgirls because it's him. I've always referred to the Cowboys as the Cowgirls. It is what it is. Exactly, Joseph. I was going to say the same thing. Another damn Chad. What else are they talking about? CPAC is hosting Santiago Abascal or Abascal as a speaker. Santiago is the leader of the Spain's far-right Vox party that wants to repeal LGBT rights in the country. Uh, Mind you, he's all the way he's in Madrid and he's coming to CPAC. Like, let's keep that in mind. And it's funny, you have people in the academy that love to say that black people are the most homophobic, yet you have people like this guy right here. Now this one is funny. Caitlyn Jenner, I'm sorry, Bruce Lynn Jenner being called Bruce and chased out of CPAC Dallas after one of CPAC attendees refers to Bruce Lynn as tranny multiple times. Let me pause this and run this back and blow this thing up and listen to what they said.
Excuse me, Bruce. I don't want to picture Bruce. Bruce.
Just run ahead of us. Yeah. Just go up. Yeah. Just go up a little bit. Go to that CPAC side. Do your phone.
Bruce, what do you think about the stuff that they're teaching in the schools?
There we go. Here. Go get it. All right. Right here. One, two.
Hey, Bruce. Bruce,
right, here we go.
What do you think about the stuff that they're teaching in schools regarding the LGBTQ? About Jesus Christ, Bruce. Don't forget about Jesus. Look at that sick freak. Why do people want a picture with him?
I don't get that.
These are conservatives, right? This is what we came to.
That's the problem.
Why do we want a picture with a tranny? Why do we want a picture with a tranny? It's supposed to be conservatives.
I'm gonna go ask these people.
Okay, so y'all just heard it right there. And you can tell by the way that Bruce Lynn is walking that he's still, and I did say I don't give a damn, has masculine mannerisms. I mean, walking with the shoulders all broad and everything. Now, this person who clearly is a Palm Color Man recording called Bruce Lynn a tranny. Now, to my knowledge, those in the academy don't like that terminology, but I bet you they won't check them. But many people who are conservative don't like Bruce Lynn anyway. I've heard that several times. They said they don't like Bruce Lynn Jenner at all. There's even some people in the academy that said they don't like Bruce Lynn Jenner at all. Because it's like you literally only are piggybacking literally off of your stepchildren's success, which of course is the Kardashians. Mitchell says, so we're talking about Bruce Degenerate. Talking about call me Caitlyn. Bullshit. Bruce Lynn is what you'll get from me. I've been calling Bruce Lynn Jenner for the last few years now, and I'm not going to stop. Oh, look who's up next, y'all. The grifting Princess Coonstress herself. Let's see what she's talking about. First off, it says, Candace Owens is scheduled to appear at CPAC despite recent comments that Republican candidates who stay at the Trump Hotel should be investigated.
If you're genuine, you're running for Congress, why are you staying at the Ritz-Carlton? Why are you, like, in Kim's case, she was staying at the Trump Hotel. She said she was doing a, not a candidate meet and greet, but like a candidate event at the Trump Hotel. Like, you're running in Baltimore. The Trump Hotel is the most expensive hotel in DC, or one of the top two most expensive. Like, none of that made any sense, but it would be good to have people that were dedicated to looking into this stuff. If you're genuine, you're running for Congress, why are you staying at the Ritz-Carlton?
Okay. So in case y'all don't know who she's talking about Kim Klacik. She was running for that position. I forgot what his name was in Baltimore, but she lost. And this chick right here is so petty that she made a video making I don't know if she was making fun of her or trying to insult her because she decided that she was going to stay at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel rather than stay at the Trump Hotel. Like, bitch, does it matter? This heifer is so on Trump's nuts that she gets mad at people who are conservative who don't stay at Trump's hotel. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, did y'all hear what she said? She got mad at Kim Clayson because she decided, because of the hotel she decided to stay at. She probably wants to stay there because she doesn't want to be near you. What's going on, Lala Papa? Let's see. What else they talking about here? An outreach director for Latina. Hold on, let me pause it. An outreach director for Latina and Latino voters says his job is difficult because, to be honest, a lot of people still aren't so fond of President Trump. What's they talking about? And look at his shirt. Wait, I don't know if you can see it. Look at his shirt. It says Q Mala, as if I care about her. But let's see what he says.
So let's just be honest. A lot of people are still not so fond of President Trump.
Okay, that's a very short clip. I think there's more to it, though. All right. It says a CPAC, they have an effigy of Beto O'Rourke. What is this?
That's Beto.
Beto. Wow, Beto's at CPAC.
That's Beto, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Everybody screenshot that.
Y'all are just getting a glimpse at the foolishness that happened at this event. Mark says she has a beef with Kim. Yeah, we been knew that. And the thing is, I don't even like Kim Klacik, but she's like the most level-headed one between the both of them. I don't, like I said, let me say this again. I don't like either one of them. They, in my opinion, both are not good for Black people. But Kim Klacik is the more level-headed one out of the two. Let's see this chick right here. Let's see. Kayleigh McEnany's sister, Ryan, says the arrest of January 6th erectionist haunts her. Ryan says she is unsure if her employer, in America First Policy Institute, backs the insurrectionists. That name, Kayleigh McEnany, name sounds so familiar too.
With the January 6th, where do you guys stand as far as the company with the men and women who are now behind bars and they don't have no probably future, even know when they're coming out of jail? Where are you at on that?
You know, I have not spoken with leadership at AFCI about that, but I can tell you on a personal basis that it haunts me. I mean, I think about it every day. There are a few things that like really just dig at my soul, and it keep me alive, and that's.
Okay, if you don't understand what's going on, the guy was asking her about the insurrections that got locked up because of what happened on January 6th. And she's up here saying that it haunts her and it digs at her soul that these people are actually locked up for a crime they committed. I actually have a video coming up on my channel about Megyn Kelly saying some of the same things or in the same tone. If you are subscribed to Harvey's channel, Your World, he actually did a video talking about Megyn Kelly in those same comments. So be sure to stay tuned because that video is going to be up on my channel sometime either this weekend or this upcoming week about Megyn Kelly basically downplaying what happened on that day. They talk about it pretty much every day in the news. They're not going to let that one go. And I'm kind of glad, that they're not, because they could have easily just stopped talking about it. But that's something that it left a stain. It left a stain on the nation. So why would you not continue to talk about it? Noam King says she looks nervous as fuck about that question. She probably is. Because remember when the 45 supporters was asked about MAGA and they said, what does it mean? They were like, I don't know. I bet you didn't. You just like how it sounded. Let's see here. Ryan McEnany, hold on, bust out laughing when someone calls White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki Chucky's sister. Ryan is Kayleigh McEnany's sister. I need to look that woman's name up because it sounds familiar.
You know what? You know what's disheartening to me and what I miss? Your sister being behind that podium. Now we're
Okay.
stuck with Chucky's sister. Did I say that out loud?
You did. Yes.
I mean, seriously, it's such a different atmosphere. Now we're getting bombarded with lies. We're getting bombarded with tyranny. When your sister was
Now I remember who Ryan McKinney is. She was the press secretary. I think she was the House press secretary for 45. I think that's who she was. Now I remember who she is. Let's see here. A card describing the future of coup part 2 plan to install Trump back into office. These are being circulated at CPAC. Let's read what this is saying. It's a 7-point plan. Number 1, reveal Achilles' heel. Pull back the curtain on the horror show that is today's Democrat Party. Watch Pelosi melt like the Wicked Witch of the West. See the Black Caucus and other key groups flip unexpectedly and watch the tables turn. Number 2, witness a trusted conservative elected as Speaker of the House and finally reveal suppressed results, existing investigation into election racketeering. Number 3, correct the official record, reveal that Trump legitimately won the 2020 election. Y'all get ready for next month because they're claiming that 45 is getting back into office in August. The Speaker of the House drafts articles of impeachment for Biden-Harris. Number 5, Citizen Donald J. Trump is placed into the line of presidential succession behind the vice president by electing him Speaker of the House. Number 6, Speaker of the House Donald J. Trump then calls for a vote to impeach, charge, and remove imposters Biden and Harris. Number 7, duly impeach, charge, and remove Biden and Harris, whereby rendering all acts of said imposters while in office null and void and no effect. Then duly elected Donald J. Trump resumes his rightful place as U.S. president. Oh my God, I cannot make this up. This is their plan, y'all. And it's a plan that's doomed to fail. They're not even going to get. They may not get past part 2. I'll give them number 1. But the thing is, many of us already knew what number 1 was like anyway. So it's like, okay, whatever. They're not going to get to plan 7, though. I mean, wishful thinking. Wishful thinking. Y'all, this, like I'm telling y'all, like this is all that was found at that CPAC event. This is what goes down there. And let me tell y'all something else. Where I work at my job, they had a CPAC event at my job a few years ago. When I found out what it was, because I wasn't too sure, I wasn't like deep into politics or anything like that. I immediately on that day I called the office and said, look, I'm not going to be able to come in tonight. I called them early and they said, okay. And I think they were short-staffed that night because a lot of people found out what it was. Let's move on. The official CPAC app is pushing the big lie while Republican state legislatures are passing actual voter suppression bills. It says, here's one vote they can't cancel. Vote now in the CPAC straw poll. At CPAC, TikTok influencer Rebecca Willoy says the LGBTQ shouldn't use the rainbow flag because of their sin of being gay. Rebecca is the niece of Republican State Representative Jerry Sexton of Tennessee. Let's see what she's talking about.
Right now, this moment, I'm blocked from posting on TikTok because that's my main platform. I'm verified on TikTok. My name is Rebecca Wilhoit, and I think the LGBTQ should not take that flag and put it up on their houses, on their cars, and in front of our faces to show their sin and their pride and their sin of being gay. My uncle, his name is Jerry Sexton. He's the state representative for Tennessee. So I'm kind of following in his steps. I've went to Nashville with him, interned for him a little bit, met the governor of Nashville, or Tennessee, I mean, and yeah, I'm thinking about running for something. I'm not sure just yet, but right now, this moment, I'm blocked from posting on TikTok.
That's the part that I wanted to hear. So you heard it right there. You heard her in her own words. And the first part that she says is, I'm blocked from posting on TikTok. Gee, I wonder why. And it says she has a verified check, so apparently she's on that platform, somewhat important. And my thing is this. Why would you even go out there and say something like that when you know TikTok is a platform where a lot of people in the academy use it? And you boldly go on there and state what you said and didn't think there wasn't going to be any pushback. See, that's that emboldeness thing right there that they think they can just get away with all the time. And noticing her tone, she says it in a way where she just sounds like she just doesn't give a damn. And she says she's thinking about running for something. Keep an eye on her. Listen, she ain't running for a goddamn thing. We already went over this on my main channel. We went over this too, so I must bypass that. But we didn't talk about this one. More pics of Mike Reyes, the man above in the White History Month shirt. He was in D.C. on January 6th. Now, this guy right here who's wearing the White History Month shirt is the same guy in this picture right here. Look at this. Right here. Right here. Look at this. The Great White Hope. This guy does more campaigning for white people than white people. First, he has on a what is it? White History Month shirt. Now he got on a shirt with Trump's face on it that says the Great White Hope. And this one right here, he is literally the black friend. Oh, wait, there's more. Here he is again with some more people. You can tell this guy right here, he looked like he trying to squeeze a biscuit out of his ass. Let's see. This guy looks like he terrified of him. This guy just loves being around white people, as you can see. Let's see. In the middle of his CPAC speech defending the United States record on slavery, Glenn Beck says, "Chicks dig me," and runs his hands up and down his body saying, "Oh, yes, I smell like a host." You know what? I'm going to go ahead and play it because I couldn't read that last part.
And let's start with slavery. No matter what you say, slavery was worse than you can imagine. Worse than you can imagine. This is filled with rocks. If you were a runner, they'd know exactly where you were. There was no hiding.
Did this guy really bring slave props on this stage for a presentation at this event?
This you wore as a punishment up to a month. If you didn't behave, you wore it around your neck. Imagine sleeping. It's worse than you think it was. But now, let's give a little perspective. I brought some pesky little facts with me. I love you too. I know chicks dig me, but I'm happily married. It happens to me everywhere I go.
Somehow I don't believe him.
Oh, yes. And I smell like a Hostess Twinkie. Slavery and racism have affected every single nation on the planet. Prior to the arrival of any European in America.
Okay. That was so cringy. All of that, from beginning to end. Like, he brought up slave props. Then he talks about himself. He thinks he's funny. This is Glenn Beck, by the way. He thinks he's funny. He rubbed himself and said he smells like a Hostess Twinkie and that chicks dig him. I don't know if women out there have a fetish of smelling a man that smells like a Twinkie. But for those of you who do not, kudos to you. And for those of you who do, you need help. Oh, great. There's more. It says Glenn Beck held up a KKK hood from his personal collection and disingenuously compared the Klan to Antifa, as they usually do. And this is Beck ignored how the KKK aligns with the right today.
Klan hoods.
Hold on.
This is one of the earliest Klan hoods we can find.
I bet it was easy to find because it was in your closet.
The Klan was? Yes. It was the enforcement arm of the Democratic Party, kind of like Antifa.
What kind of event was this? This looks like one big Klan rally. Oh, there's more. How many clips does Glenn Beck get? He says Glenn Beck justifies Republican voter suppression bills being passed in multiple states by presenting a Democratic Party poll tax receipt from 1932, almost 90 years ago.
Oh, you Republicans. Oh, you Republicans, you're trying to disenfranchise people. You're trying to make sure that they don't vote. Oh, you mean like in 1932? Here, the poll tax receipts that we have from the Democratic Party. They were charging people to vote. Not all people, of course. Just the people they didn't want to vote.
Okay, granted, that happened back then. But the thing of the matter is, this party right here is still doing it today. So him even mentioning that didn't make any sense. That's why I can't take either side seriously. I cannot. If this is their way of trying to get black people to come over, they're doing a horrible job. Oh God, there's more. It just doesn't stop. It says on stage, Glenn Beck was showing off his hood and slave shackle collection. Backstage, he was giving private showings of his Nazi Holocaust relics. Let me see something here. Hold on.
Set the record straight, and I brought a lot of stuff from our.
If y'all notice right there's a timer on the ground, on the floor. That thing says 44 minutes and 9 seconds. That means that man was allowed to speak for about an hour.
At Mercury, I have a charity called Mercury Water.
Remarkable things. I collect kind of the bad things about America because I don't think that you can truly appreciate America unless you know the evil that we conquer in ourselves all the time.
Y'all, do you see the stuff he has on that table? Again, this happened at the CPAC event. And I'm not surprised that it was hosted in Texas, in Dallas at that. He says, Beck collects Nazi armbands worn by victims of Hitler's Germany. Like I said, this is a lot. It's a CPAC app is desperately plugging social media alternatives over and over again. You right, talking to Grubbin, it was passed down to him. And he's still passing it on down. I'm not going to click on this. It's a short clip. It's just talking about the 1619 project. Let's see, what is this guy? It says, oh, that's another thread. I don't know if I want to go to another thread. I think this one's enough. But it says CPAC attendee is upset that CNN announced the first black woman. I really want y'all to see this one. So this guy was mad that young lady that I talked about last week who won the spelling bee, he was mad that she won because she's black. Mind you, this is a little black girl who's like 15. And he's a grown-ass man mad at her. Listen to this.
Well, my opinion is, that teachers should teach, basic subjects, history, math, science, and the school system itself should stay out of these types of things. And I think that in general, I saw today, it's great. I was sitting in my hotel this morning and CNN was on playing and it said first black, and it says black also, which I think is funny. It doesn't say African American. On CNN, it says first black person wins the spelling bee. And that's great. That's great that some black person won the spelling bee. That's wonderful. But the whole thing that...
What about what I told y'all? A butt Bullshit follows after that, but
to try and divide by color. I mean, listen, man, I grew up in Washington, D.C. I don't see colors, man. You know, I'm either trust you or I don't. That's all it boils down to. So when it comes to trying to treat race theory, I think these things should be left up to parents. You know,
this dude is a whole clown. He actually had a problem because they said she was the first black winner of the spelling bee, which she was. He got mad because they said she was the first black winner. And look at how he said it. He said it in a very dismissive tone. And I've always told y'all, listen to tone and listen to how a lot of PC people, especially people that think like him, say the word black. You know, I saw in the news, you know, they said, I was looking at CNN and they said black. They said he was the first black winner of the spelling bee. And that's great. And that's great. And that's cool. But do we have to really mention color? I mean, I grew up in Washington, D.C., and I didn't really see color. That's bullshit because D.C. was known as Chocolate City before gentrification, and I can tell by his age, if he was born in D.C. and raised in D.C., he had to have known that D.C. was known as Chocolate City at one time. They are so offended by that word black, no matter where it fits into the spectrum. Whether if it's a negative connotation, they have a different tone about it, but it's still in a negative way. If it's positive, they really have a very negative tone about it. Hood Mistress said, I bet he's a gentrifier too. He probably is or not because he said he's from DC. So if he's from DC, he was there before pre-gentrification. If he was born, it was actually born in DC. Like, this shit actually pisses me off. Like, but let me continue. All right, so that's the whole thing. I'm not going to go through the rest of the thread. That was just part 2. I'm not going to go through the entire thing because it's so much, and I still got 2 other things to talk about. But y'all get an idea of what was going on at this event. Exactly, Jay Black. Jay Black said he just told on himself. He said, I don't see color, yet he acknowledged her being black. Exactly. Exactly. And he isn't the only one. There's a lot of them that be the same exact way. But anyway, let me move on to the next one because I need to get this thing done hopefully by 6 because like I said, I gotta be on a stream at 7. So y'all listen, y'all knew we were going to talk about this right here. Y'all knew we was going to address this. And that's that Karen at the Victoria's Secret. I don't have to ask anybody in this chat, did you see that? Or see this? But we already know that I was going to cover it and give my take on it. I've already seen this thing so many times, and it gets cringy each and every damn time that it appears. So I think the people combine this all into one video, and then the next video I'm going to show is going to be when the cops actually finally show up and don't do shit. So let's get into it.
Oh God! No, excuse. Now you. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Let me tell you something that got me already when I first saw this video. It wasn't the fact that she came over aggressively and hit this woman. It was the immediate going into the theatrics in the tears or trying to produce the tears as soon as she realized she was being recorded.
Now you.
Look at this. She came over all aggressive and hit her and they were like, immediately.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
And then it was the tossing of the shirt. She just tossed the shirt across the counter. Disrespectful.
Do you see this? Oh my God! I never thought nothing like this would happen to me. She just tried to run and hit me, and now she. Did you see her?
And listen to that. She said that she just tried to hit me, and she said, "No, I didn't. You're recording me." You're damn right I am. You're damn right she is.
You saw her, right? They all saw her. Oh my God. Karen had a breakdown. She tried to hit me. Ask your workers. She tried to hit me. She tried to hit me. Now I want security.
Now here's the story behind this. There was a sale, I think, for some panties at Victoria's Secret, and the black woman was in line, and this heifer, this Karen, came and cut in front of her, and then that's when the whole thing started. But they don't like to mention that part.
For you. Oh my God. Oh my God. You should have thought about that before you did what you did.
Hold on. She gonna sit up there and tell that lie and say she didn't try to hit her, even though the very first thing we see in this video, in the first second, is her lunging her Miracle Whip shaped self into this woman with her hand.
Oh my God, this shit don't even feel real. This do not feel real.
You can just go around here. I'm too short to hit you. Please don't record me. Don't record me.
Y'all got to get security. She charged me. If I wouldn't have ducked, she would. Oh no, you just wanted security for me, right? I want security for you now. No, don't cry. No. I want you to call security. Thank you.
What gets me is the fact that everybody is standing around and they're just looking at this woman go off like this, and they're not even trying to remove her from the store. Like, they're just looking at this woman act like a child. That's what she's acting like. She's acting like a grown-ass kid having a temper tantrum in the middle of a store, in the place of business. And they try to say that we act out. They try to say that we act out. I know we had some issues, but goddamn, this is a grown-ass woman, I think. Physically, she's grown, but mentally, she's not. They just watched her and looked at her act a fool in the middle of Victoria's Secret. Like, nobody, not one customer, not one worker, came and got her up and scooped her ass up off that floor and got her ass up out of that store. This is what you call enabling bad behavior.
I just came to get my free panty. You know how you get the coupon in the mail? And I got to pick up my Converse boots from Nordstrom's. I don't know why this is happening to me. Don't charge me. Oh, you want to? Oh, yeah, she.
Ooh. She sounded like she was possessed. No! What was that?
I'm scared to even approach her.
You want to know why? A reason why I believe some of them didn't even like respond to her like that is because many of them have probably come encounter with a Karen before, and they know how she is, or they have been a Karen in some point in their life, and they already know.
You're scaring me. Like, you gonna go postal.
And she's not even crying. I don't see not one tear falling out her damn eye.
No, why don't she?
Now look at this. Look at this jean jacket, flat ass bitch. She goes like, "Hey, why don't you just stop recording her? No, bitch, why don't you turn around, pay for your shit, and mind your goddamn business and get the fuck out of the goddamn store?" That's what the fuck you can do. That's what I would have told her. Mind your goddamn business. She got on cold for that woman. She didn't say nothing to this woman the whole time she was on the floor making all that damn noise. But the minute that she sees that this woman is recording this woman, oh, why don't you just go and stop recording? Shut the fuck up. I would have tossed my damn phone at her and made her shut the fuck up.
walk away from me? No, I was here. No. We're not doing this. Why don't I walk away from her? Why don't she get away from me? She could get away. Go wherever you want to go. This is crazy.
Here it comes, y'all. Here it comes. Here comes the dramatics. Here comes the Oscar performance right here where she falls to the floor. She's going down and she's out. God damn. What? Listen, I have to side with the black woman on this, because if I was in that situation and I saw that, I would be cracking the hell up. Y'all, listen, if I recorded this and I saw that, I would be laughing my ass off. Like, I would have probably been laughing all the way out of that damn store and down the halls of the mall and out the door into my car, and still laughing on the way home at that.
Ooh, Lord.
That's part one. Here we go on to part two. Oh, there's the shakes. There's the shakes, y'all. She's shaking. She's shaking.
You keep lying saying I'm threatening you, so I'm recording to protect myself.
At first, I didn't understand what she was saying because she's screaming so damn loud. She was saying, get her phone away. She can do what the hell she wants with her phone, and if I had the phone and you came near me, you getting hit with this phone. I keep saying to myself, when I see video, and I know y'all say the same thing, when y'all see videos like this, you're probably saying, why doesn't this happen with me? Why can I not encounter this? That way it can be taken care of effective immediately, the way that it should be taken care of. Here she comes. She about to chase her. She about to do a lap.
Crazy lady.
Now she's trying to plead with the workers to get her to take the phone away.
Attack me and try to say I attacked her. You cut.
Here's the lap. She's taking a lap.
Oh, y'all better get this lady.
Now she's telling her to get away from her, but she's the one doing the chasing.
Away from me. You're gonna get this. Get security. Get the phone.
At that point, I would have listened. I would have pulled this. I would have dropped and clipped her ass up and made her fall into some of that product. Maybe that would have cleaned it, because something just tells me this woman stinks. Something just tells me she just didn't bathe today. And you know, it's not good when it's hot if you don't bathe. It's not good when you don't bathe when it's cold. But I would have dropped and clipped her ass up, and she would have been falling all over all them damn Victoria's Secret products.
Security, look at this. Yes, can y'all get her?
Me, Menez X, yes, that is a demon.
Wait for me! Get her away from me! Oh, have mercy! Get her away from me! Get her away from me! No, I gotta just protect myself.
Okay, so that was that part, but now the next part I'm going to show is when security, if you want to call it that, finally showed their asses up. Let me go ahead and plug my laptop in because the little battery thing came up. Can't afford this to die because I still got to show this part, and the it's one more Karen video I got to show y'all. So let's get into this. Let me unmute this right quick. This is when security finally shows up to the damn store.
So I was attacked in the mall, almost attacked in the mall. The manager, I had to run behind her. I chased around. He telling me he can escort me to my car, but she's not. She doesn't have to leave the mall. I'm not finished shopping. I have 2 other stores to go to.
What I'm saying, I don't work for the mall. I can't order her out.
Yeah, but you work for Milburn. I was just almost assaulted in this mall.
I can't. More security can have. What I'm saying is, I'm not telling you about things like that.
I'm not saying that, but
now listen to this dude right here. He's trying to use the excuse of him not working in the mall is why he can't help her. That doesn't matter. You are wearing the uniform that's really a costume at this point, talking about you can't do this and can't do that, even though this woman was clearly like almost or was assaulted by this maniac who would probably be more fitted in a zoo than in public society.
For some reason.
And by the way, this story made mainstream news. Like I saw this on the cover on the front page of a Yahoo. Like it actually made like headlines.
If the shoe was on the other foot, and I would have tried to attack her white ass, you would have me escorted out this mall. And that's just how I feel. This woman, mind you, the manager done told him. The manager told me he chased, huh?
I wish you didn't feel that way.
I do feel that way. I do feel that way. I was just almost attacked and assaulted, and you telling me 3 times, and he can't get out. You hear this?
They said that they cannot kick her out. That's what he said. We cannot kick her out. What was the point of calling? At this point, that Karen would have caught them hands. I don't give a damn if a charge would have came. It would have felt so damn good. I would have been able to sleep good that night. I don't know about y'all.
If you have any concerns,
well, I'm going to this the lady they won't kick out the mall. I'm a dog. I want to see if she act up in front of y'all, what y'all would do. So he's telling me that, first of all, the manager already said she tried to attack me. I want her to leave the mall. I don't understand why she can't be escorted out the mall. She tried to attack me twice. She should be escorted out the mall. Okay. See this? And she's crying, and they just being all sympathetic to her tears. I don't care about her white tears.
Jamari said that Fakem is defending. I bet he is, considering he's married to one. That's like defending his wife.
She needs to be escorted out the mall. She chased me around the store and tried to attack me twice. Don't worry, I can get you in there.
Rosalind said, when I shared the story, several people were sharing it, trying to spin the narrative that the white woman needs help. Such BS. The black one was the only one who needed help. They always do that. Whenever they have these episodes like this, they always try to say it was a mental illness. Remember that video that went viral of the black man at the hotel with that white worker who was trying to get the issue taken care of for that computer error, and all of a sudden he started hitting the computer and then started smacking himself, and then people tried to put the blame on the black man for recording him because he had a psychological break. They're doing the same thing here with this scenario, but the only difference is it's up to customers in the Victoria's Secret. It's the same damn thing. I will not be surprised if they tried to create some kind of a GoFundMe for this bitch. I wouldn't be surprised if they have created something for her. It's the same thing. They don't have no damn mental illness. I always tell people, whenever they try to come at you with that mental illness shit, you got to ask them, what have you been diagnosed with? I need to see some meds that you're supposed to be on. I need to see some kind of a document stating from your doctor or your physician that you are definitely diagnosed with something. Because saying you got a mental illness, that's not going to cut it. That's an insult to people who actually have mental illnesses.
No, she should be escorted out the mall. She tried to attack me twice. You doing that because she white and she crying.
And the thing is, they have surveillance. They have cameras in the store. All they got to do is go back and look at the footage on the store. And look at this piece of shit right here. Go and try to say, ma'am, can you go back in the store? Like, they literally treated this black woman like she was the instigator, and that this little helpless little white chick was the victim. And have the nerve to tell black people we need to stop dwelling in victimhood. What did this bitch just do right here?
I am nowhere near her. I don't have to move. I'm not breaking any laws. Now you get so aggressive with me. Get aggressive like that with her. Look at this shit. See this shit?
Look at her.
This lady chased me around the Victoria's Secret store. Literally. Chased. And the manager told them that she chased me. And they don't want to do anything but listen to her crying.
I'm going to put it like this. And I think I'm going to be well within my right to actually say this because I've seen it so many times. This is not the first time I've seen law enforcement not get aggressive with Karen when she acts out like this, even in their face. I've seen it several times. These cops, as a collective, are scared of the Cauca bitch named Karen. They're scared of her. A lot of times, if they're white cops, they know they're scared of Karen because their mother is a Karen and she probably terrorized them. And when they see that Karen that's a stranger, they see their mother. I have seen countless videos where these cops do not do a damn thing to these white women when they act the way that they do. I've seen them get in their face. I've seen them spit. I've seen them hit. And if they do get aggressive with them, they do the bare minimum.
Look at this shit. Mind you, she crying. She chased me around the store. I should be crying. I got chased.
The initial video, man. Can you email us?
My what?
The initial video that you took?
Yeah, I sure can. Can I have the email and the case number, please, for today? Because I'm definitely going to go straight for just because of your partner's smugness.
What's up?
Yeah, the way your partner looked back at me like, like, I don't have time for that.
Well, that's pretty much the end of it right there. Like, that shit, like, literally pisses me off. For real, for real. The whole thing was just, I would say mind-blowing, but we know the history of this happening. We know the history behind this. I just await the day that it happens to me. Y'all, listen, if that happens to me and it's documented, y'all better create a GoFundMe immediately. Because I have a feeling that might actually happen. And you never know when it could happen. It's unexpected. It's not like it's planned. But all I'm saying is this. I just mind my business. I go about my day. I put these videos up, get feedback, talk to y'all, and do what I have to do, make my money, go to sleep, wake up, and do it all over again. I do not have time for me to have my day interrupted by these Karen ass bitches. But should that day actually come, get ready to create the GoFundMe. That's all I'm saying. Now, before we go, I have one more video, and this is another Karen video, and this one just recently happened as well at a Walmart. So let me go ahead and expand this out. Now, this one reminds me of what happened with that Maya Ponsetto chick in New York with the phone. But this time you have this Karen right here who accused this black man of stealing her son's cell phone. And this is the full unedited video, because I'm glad I found the unedited version, because I kept seeing the edited version where you had like voiceovers and stuff. So we're going to play this. And we're going to dissect this one again. And I have a feeling I'm going to go off again.
She accused me of stealing her son's phone.
Someone said Mexicaren. Hey, Karen comes in all shapes, sizes, and colors, as far as I know.
Outside the store. First she was eyeing me in the store. As soon as her son happened to lose her phone,
And she's doing the Karen pose. Hand up to the phone up to the ear, standing crooked. The only thing she needs is the hand on the hip.
was around looking for blinds and she started looking at me. And I know I'm black with tattoos, so she automatically assumes I had it. His location says it's me. I have no her son's phone, but she's followed me outside of Walmart. I'm here in Moreno Valley. She came looking for a location, but it's right by my car. She runs up to me and says, "Excuse me, you have my son's phone?" I pull my phone out and tell her I do not, as well as my money and my ID, and tell her who I am and I do not steal. And she continues. She's holding. The only reason I'm not leaving is because I don't have a phone. That's why I'm not leaving.
And this looks like California. I think I see California license plates.
What's your name, ma'am? If you don't mind me asking, is it okay if I have your name?
Let's call the cops.
No problem at all.
Now you're recording me.
No problem. I have it right to.
You damn right, bitch. You recording you. Now tell a man your goddamn name and stop being insubordinate.
No.
Do you have my son's phone?
But when I told you, no, you did.
I did not come at you like that.
You did.
No, I did not.
You did.
Sir,
and when you're running after me and following me, believe me, I've been racially profiled so long.
Hello?
And I'm very scared of that.
Yes. See. Okay. All right, bye.
You understand I'm waiting, right? Because you're wrong.
Then let's
right?
fix this. We'll wait until the police are
So,
you decide it yourself.
What will happen when you're wrong? What happens? What do I get? Just an apology?
Sure.
That's not good.
No, we're staying here until you give me my phone because it marks that you're here.
I don't have a phone.
No.
Ma'am, you're really crazy. You're following me
Yeah,
now.
now I am.
That's good.
Because that phone
A
has
sorry
cost
is
me
not
money.
good
Yes.
enough. A sorry person isn't good
now
enough
you're
for
full
me.
of shit, and now
A
I
sorry.
am accusing you. You said you were.
Wait to the part when she realized she has egg on her face.
Thank you. Here, come on. We go back up to the front. There's too many cars passing. No problem at all. Now, you see me, right? Everybody know me. I'm definitely pressing charges of racially profile. You guys see it on camera yourself. The phone should be following us, right? Right? If I have a phone,
And look at how close she's following him. You would have. I think I saw somebody say this on another commentary about this. She's walking so close to him. You would have thought they were a couple. That's how close she's walking in proximity to him. There's no distance at all.
I haven't even got to my car yet. So if I stole the phone, it'd be in my pocket, right? She's not smart enough to know that, but that's why she's going to be charged that. So I'm going to let you know, sweet lady, because my wife will be dealing with you.
Now they're going back into the Walmart.
How you doing, ma'am? How you doing? She accused me of stealing a phone, man. She ran after me. First thing happened in the store, man. It was kind of vibing when I guess she lost her phone. Because I heard her say, "Where's your phone?"
Just wait, Nino. That's coming up.
I'm looking for blinds for my family at my house. I go to my car, man. She runs out. I'm recording right now, just so you know. She runs after me. Well, this is for my safety. She runs after me. Says, "You have my son's phone." And then I tell her, right? Yeah. And then I tell her, right, I don't have a phone. I pull my wallet out. I show her I don't need to steal anything at all. And if I had a phone, it would be in my pocket because I haven't made it to my car. Oh, I have it on video, her accusing me. I have it, her accusing me on video. So I tell her, I'm not even going to leave. So I don't have no car. But I asked her, so what's going to happen? Are we going to call the police? That's cool. But what happens when the police say I don't have a phone? Then what? Oh, I'm just going to get a sorry. That's when I was going to hop in my car, man, because I have a family. You know what I'm saying? I'm a married man sitting here dealing with this woman's irateness because her husband our son can't be responsible for a phone. That's not my fault. But being racially profiled, that's going to be
When
hers.
we were in the parking lot, it was marking him like right there, but I can't.
Where's that now? Still marking me? They should follow us, right? If I have the phone, right, she'll call us in the store.
I am.
She accused me, and it's okay because I have everybody's face that's involved.
But I just why when I was in, it was marking like right there.
No, I can't for my safety. Everybody I'm involved in, I understand.
And see what happened? What the worker just did. the worker did the same thing that white customer did at the Victoria's Secret in the previous video in stating, "Sir, you can't record." I know why she said that too, because they don't want to end up on the news. Well, it's too late. It's already out there. You're out. You're on the news. Maybe better handle this situation the next time.
When she racially profiled me, her son found the phone. Her son found
There it is right there. And this okay, Nina, you was asking about the son. Here's the son. Let me run it back a little bit right here.
I'm involved in. I understand. When she racially profiled me, her son found the phone. Her son found it though. It was in the car.
There it is. There it is. There it is. The son, that's the son, found the phone in the car. That's why I said this story reminds me so much of that one that happened in New York. It was like the same scenario, but she thought that the boy stole her phone. Whole time, her silly, goofy ass left the phone in the goddamn Uber. Exactly, the phone. No, exactly, no, King. The phone is right there in his hand.
Her son found it in the car. So now I'm going to press charges. Ma'am, may I have your name, please? May I have your name, please, ma'am? No. Okay, that's okay.
Oh, did you hear what she said? She told that black man to go fuck off. This bitch was wrong the entire time, followed this man throughout the parking lot, called 911 about her son's phone that he already had. And then when he says, "Can I have your name and your number or an apology?" Go fuck off. Mind you, when he was out in the parking lot, he says, "Are you going to apologize when you're wrong?" She was like, "Sure." I already knew that was some bullshit just by the way that she responded. But after she had egg on her face, her response is, "Go fuck off."
I'll get your license plate. I seen where your son went to the car. I have your license plate. Thank you.
Now, mind you, she's there with her son. Apparently, maybe that's a daughter and some other woman, and then maybe that's her mother. I'm not sure. She left all of them in the damn store to come chase after a black man for a phone that he allegedly stole from her son that was inside the car the whole damn time. And he had it in his hand. Fuck off, fuck yourself. All I know is she said fuck in there, and it was directed towards him in a very dismissing way. And that's pretty much the whole. I don't have to play the last few minutes. That's pretty much it. But man, right, Nino. So much for that black and brown unity. But anyway, this is a pretty long stream. But like I said, I had to get through all of that, mainly because it's dealing with these damn Karens. But anyway, that's going to conclude today's stream. I'm glad everybody came through. Shout out to any new subscribers that subscribe to the channel. I will be back on my main channel tomorrow with the 3 videos, 10, 2, and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to post the link to the J Lava channel, so be sure that at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to head on over to that channel, because we will be collabing on his channel to just basically chop it up. Got about a little less than an hour before that begins. I hope to see all of you over there. Like I said, I'm going to post a link into my community tab so you can have access to it, and we will go from there. And with that being said, I will talk to you all later or see you all over on the J Lava channel.